everyone! I'm Rosie and welcome back to my channel. Garlic bread is the perfect side to turn an ordinary dinner into something special. Although it's really easy to buy it in stores, I always felt like I was buying stale bread with chemicals on top, so I learned how to make my own. But first, I need to figure out how to make the perfect soft French bread as the base. I wanted a loaf that's longer than a standard loaf, but not too flat so I could cut it lengthwise for the garlic bread. I also didn't want to buy a new baking pan or those fancy baguette pans that can cost over $100. I figured out a foolproof way to make the best soft French bread. I'll show you how I turn it into buttery melt-in-your-mouth garlic bread, but it's also great for sandwiches or sliced and toasted with cheese on top. Let's get started. I'm measuring out 550 grams of bread flour. This is the only white flour I keep on hand, but you can use all-purpose flour if you want. I add 2 teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Then I mix in 1½ cups of warm water. I know it sounds weird to add active dry yeast directly to the flour. I get my yeast from nuts.com and it's super active, so I discovered over time that I didn't need to first activate it in water. If you want to first bloom your yeast in the water, feel free to do that. I'm just mixing until the dough comes together. I'm going to let this shaggy mess rest for about 30 to 60 minutes. It'll be easier to smooth out the clumps once the flour has some time to hydrate. In the meantime, I'm going to set out the garlic to defrost. I use these frozen garlic cubes that I get at Trader Joe's for convenience, and each cube is equivalent to 1 garlic clove, but feel free to use fresh garlic if you have it. I have 8 cubes here for a fairly mild garlic bread, but feel free to use a few more cloves if you want a stronger garlic flavor. I also let the butter come up to room temperature. I'm going to make 2 loaves in a 9 by 13 inch pan. Here's my no-fuss method to get the perfect shape for these loaves. I make a mold out of foil that essentially splits the pan in half. Pinch the foil in the center so that the center divider is about the same height as the rest of the pan. Then mold the edges around the sides. You can save this mold after baking and use it again and again when you need to. I then line each side with parchment. I divide the dough in half and gently shape each one by tucking the sides under. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let the dough rise again at room temperature until it doubles in volume. This took about 2 hours for me today, but it was a colder day. It might take less time for you depending on your temperature. Let's make the garlic butter. I have the thawed garlic cubes here, and I add 3 teaspoons of Italian herb seasoning. I mix in 2 sticks of room temperature salted butter. If your butter is not mixing easily, you might need to microwave it for a few seconds to soften it. Depending on how much butter you like to put on your garlic bread, you'll probably have some extra garlic butter at the end that you can save for another time. You can bake the garlic bread directly from frozen in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes until it's golden brown. See how easy it is to make amazing garlic bread from scratch? I hope you give this recipe a try and let me know how it goes. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more easy cooking and baking videos, and say hi in the comments. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!